Hey peeps, what's going on? I know it's on top of everyone's mind right now. Haley, where have you been? It's been 5 years and we were so confused as to why somebody with your success and your amount of followers and somebody who is taking over the world with their YouTube channel, why they would stop posting videos in their prime. And those are all valid questions that I'm here to answer for you today. JK, obviously. If you saw the title of this video, you know it's definitely different than all 3 videos that I have on this channel currently. Creative recovery, what the fuck even is that? Don't worry, I'm here to answer that for you as well. I found this book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron from a cool artist named Doechii, who everyone is seeing top the charts and dominate right now. I saw this YouTube video talking about how this book helped her go through a creative block in her life. And I also went on her channel and saw that she would post videos similar to this where she was going through the exercises in this book. Now, Haley, why would somebody who's such a prolific creative make something called the creative recovery? Girl, you're good. You're a pro, some might even say. As shocking as it is, creativity has been my worst enemy for all 25 years of my life. That's why we're doing a creative recovery. Whatever my future looks like, I always want to do something that is authentic to me. And that's why I struggled in my previous era of YouTube because I didn't resonate with what I was posting. It's not content that I was proud of, really. In between the past 5 years where I stopped posting videos to now, I have gone through a lot in my life. According to science, my frontal lobe develops on my 25th birthday, which is in a few months. Apparently, I become rich and all my problems go away and my life is pretty much set after that, so can't wait. But until then, I figured I would heal. Let's take it back. Why am I undergoing a creative recovery to begin with? My creativity has been a sore subject for me my entire life, pretty much. I can't really remember a time where I didn't feel that way. I find myself in a lot of creative spaces. I'm a dancer, I sing, and in all of those spaces, I'm around really creative, gifted, talented people, and they all love making their own stuff. They all love creating their own work, and that has always felt like the scariest and worst thing in my body. I can't explain it to you, but it feels like fear and shame and disgust and anger. I've been going to therapy for a really long time. I've been able to work through a lot of things in my life, but creativity is just not one of them. I've been seeking answers for as long as I can remember, whether that's through artists that I really look up to, whether that's through therapy, whatever, and I have not found it. And when I saw this book, I thought, you know what? I really want to make this change in my life genuinely, and I really want to take this seriously because it's time I heal it. I can't let another 5 years go by where I don't take myself seriously and I don't work through this. That's like the briefest of summaries I could give, but I know as we go through this book, it'll probably get progressively more emo, so get ready for that. I could have kept this to myself. This creative recovery was definitely supposed to be something that I was gonna do on my own. And then I had an intuitive pull to, hey, maybe post that. Now, Doechii did the same thing. She posted her journey going through this book. So shout out to that because that was a really big inspiration as well. But even when I saw her videos doing that, I never thought that that's something that I should do too. But I really struggle to relate to people on this. This is something that I can never find help for, and I feel so isolated because of it. So I thought even if 1 or 2 people watches me go through this journey, maybe it'll help them. So now I decided to put it on the internet. It worked for Doechii, so maybe it could work for me too. And maybe it could work for you also. A little bit about the book itself. There's chapters.
Wow.
The book is broken down into chapters that relate to weeks. So she has her introductory chapters, which establish her ethos.
Since when did you get so smart?
Full disclosure, I had to make sure the ethos was the one. I think I said logos initially, but I was like, nah, that's not right. Where she talks about like her background and all that jazz in the intro, but she also starts to break down some of the fundamentals to this process, which I'll go through in a second. But then the rest of the book is comprised of weeks that you're supposed to read the chapter. Then there's like a bunch of exercises to do. I'll show you what I mean by week. This is what I'm talking about. It says, can you even see? Oh my God. It says week 1, and then it has whatever you're supposed to work on that week. And then you read the chapter, cool. You're like, whoa, healing, wow, relatable. And then you get to the end, and then there's exercises. Today, I'm just gonna go through a little bit about what the chapters I've read, what I've done so far, and then in the future videos, I plan on going through like, oh, week 1, this is what I did. This is how I felt. I'm scared for that. So the first parts that I've read thus far is the introduction. Whoa, riveting. Then the next part is spiritual electricity, the basic principles. Boom. And then the next part is the basic tools. So a lot of basics. I also have read week 1 already, but obviously it's going to be next video, so we're not going to go through too much. There was some good shit in there, so I'm really excited to get into that one, but I'm just going to let you know I read that and I have never felt so heard in my life. But the parts that I've read thus far really start to help break down what an artist blockage even is. I found it really helpful. Usually I read a lot of self-help books because I need help, and I always find that I can relate to something. It's really rare for me to find that I relate to something in a way that helps me process it and apply it in my own life and then move through it, if that makes sense. But in this book, I've been able to identify patterns in myself and like begin to work through them and release them on a very like micro level so far, but it's pretty rare that I feel that way. So props to Miss Julia for being able to heal me. Yeah! Love that. The main takeaways from the beginning chapters are the tools that she talks about to begin this process. Those 2 things are 1, the morning pages, and 2, artist dates. The morning pages are what she describes as 3 pages of freehand stream of conscious writing that you do every single day. It is meant to serve as a brain dump. So anything you've got going on in your head, you could even say, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write for 3 pages if you wanted to. There's supposed to be no meaning, no purpose attached to it. The whole point behind doing it is to work through what she calls the censor. The censor is basically that inner voice in your head that tells you what you do is shit, that limits you from being able to be creative because it's critiquing you all the time. By doing something like a freehand writing where you're just writing down whatever you're thinking, you're able to start to work through and observe those thoughts that are coming from your censor and just write anyway, because it's not supposed to be good. It's not supposed to mean anything. You're just supposed to write. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard for the censor to step in and be relevant during that time. I actually had a really weird experience when I started reading the book, and when she was talking about the morning pages, I started to visualize myself writing all of my emotions down, and I started to feel this like huge amount of feelings that I couldn't, like, I was like, oh, I need to write this down. And then I didn't write them down. And you know what happened? I felt really sad and I felt like shit for a whole night, and I was like, maybe it would have helped if I would have written them down. Crazy idea, right? Yeah, I found it to be really powerful, and I thought it was interesting, especially considering it's just journaling. And I journal all the time. But what I have come to realize is typically when I journal, I do so on my lovely laptop because I like to think and type, and it's faster for me that way. But doing this version of journaling where I'm writing and it's freehand and I'm saying shit that doesn't make sense, I realize when I do the opposite and I type it on my computer that I'm always focusing on organizing it, making it look neat. Most of the time, I go into journaling when I'm like doing it on my computer and I think, just type your thoughts, just type your feelings, like it doesn't matter, no one's gonna see it. But then I'll be typing and I'll be reading what I'm typing and I'm like, damn, that's pretty negative. And then I feel guilty that it's so negative, which defeats the whole purpose. Like, that's how I feel, so it needs to just be that. So this exercise has been really helpful for me because, you know, I found that I have a lot of positive stuff coming out of it, and I feel like I'm answering a lot of my own questions that I've had, and I feel like I have permission to just say whatever the fuck I want, and that's something that I've struggled with up until this point. I've been doing it for 3 days now. It's not a long time, but I do definitely intend to continue this every day till the end of time. She stresses that this is a non-negotiable, you need to do it every single day, so she's the boss and I will listen to her. The next thing is the artist dates. Essentially, the artist dates are you nurturing your inner artist. She spends a lot of time distinguishing your censor, which is the person that is in your head and critiques you, and then your creator, which is your inner artist. She stresses that your artist needs to be nurtured just like a normal relationship, and therefore you need to take it out on dates. She also stresses this doesn't have to be you spending money or doing anything crazy, but something that feeds your artist, you need to do it once a week. I can't go anywhere and do anything at the moment because I am recovering from a knee surgery right now. So I will probably do my artist dates in the form of coloring. My partner bought me a bunch of really awesome coloring books that have like affirmations and stuff. So yeah, those are the big things that this talked about. Thus far, I've found that things are progressing, and honestly, that's all I'm looking for as of right now. She talks about in the intro as well that this process is really emotionally tumultuous. So the first week after going through the exercises, you tend to feel more unblocked and more free and happier. But as you progress through, it starts to evoke more pain and it becomes really challenging. But by the end of it, you feel released and unblocked. Yeah, I'm really excited to get into recovering a sense of safety because the stuff that I've read in there thus far has been absolute gold. But this is where we are right now. In my previous videos, I do this thing called a parting bar, which is basically where I spit total heat and definitely rhyme like perfectly well as a way to close out the video. I will not be doing that anymore. We've grown up, the frontal lobe has developed, and I'm throwing that away. So also, I do know that my background is like not the cutest right now. I had a cute little area that I was gonna do my video in, but the lighting was dicky and I didn't want that for you or for me. I also had a mic in my previous video, which made the audio slightly less terrible, but I don't have my stuff with me at the moment and I wanted to record this video anyway. So as I continue down this road, I will make it better for everyone involved. So yeah, I wanted to acknowledge that because I'm aware. I am aware. Don't you worry. Anyways, I don't know how to close out this video. Maybe a handshake, a fist bump. I don't know if y'all are into that or not. I mean, I could dap you up, but it feels pretty one-sided. How about for now, we go with a high five and a fist bump, and I stop talking. How about that? Jellyfish. All right, everyone. That's all I got. I will see you next time. Okay, I'll stop. All right, bye.